Hey everybody, this is Rydo and we're back to the Black Mirror. Now, it's been another day for me, so maybe I won't be super as frustrated with this game. Although I haven't really been that frustrated with this game at all. It's just been very slow and very dull. It did occur to me as I gave maybe a minute or two of extra thought that maybe Mordecai has already resurrected himself. Like, maybe it happened when Catherine burned. It seems like there's been a lot more than...
I'll take it.
Interesting. I wasn't surprising.
Hopefully, it will still work.
I wasn't planning on shooting anything in this game. Maybe this is just a setup for the end of the game.
Some old bullets here. Let's hope they aren't useless.
Like, if Catherine died, if the...
Technical drawings and plans
and everybody else has died. It's been more than 5. There's been 3 people here. There's been 2 people at the Black Mirror mansion that have died. At least 2 people. And then Catherine, that makes 6. So, it wouldn't be crazy if Catherine came back. There we go. So we exhausted everything in the locker. Apparently we can open this locker now. So apparently there was a lock that locked both sides of the locker, so not really a locker as much as a cabinet. It would be a better description.
If it weren't so damp down here, I should be able to use them.
What? Bullets don't work in dampness?
There were just 2 bullets in the box. Plans for the controls and drawings of a big machine. Perhaps I can use them somehow.
And this is the old book we picked up. And so we're kind of not even needing most of this, I bet. I think if we come over here to the generator controls, we can use the plans one way or another to turn this on.
Maybe its purpose is to power the lift. Maybe its purpose is to power the lift.
Let's right click on it. No, nothing. How about we use the plans to the machine on it? Nope. That is also not what it's for. Maybe we use this with the fuse box. Nope.
A fuse box. I'd better leave it alone.
And so not the fuse box, and not that. This guy was trapped in this area because of an oil drum seeming to be intentionally placed on top of it, not accidentally. Of course, this looks more like a shadow than an actual, like, hatch or anything. It doesn't seem like there's anything. And the oil drum trapped him at that point, which doesn't really even make sense because the elevator shaft is right there, and unless everybody else was already dead, why couldn't he just yell up the shaft or use a revolver to shoot a bullet up the shaft, or use a revolver even to shoot through the hatch and drain the oil drum just like I did, because I used a piece of metal to stab the oil drum. Either one of them very possibly would have made the oil drum explode, but even that would have then opened the path. So the guy just kind of stayed there, broken. He did say his arm was hurt, so maybe he just couldn't climb up the ladder.
I could try starting the machine, but I don't know how.
And so he wouldn't try even until we did this.
I'm trying to get it to start with the help of those plans.
But now we have the plans. And see, this pool Still doesn't seem to have a reason. We have 2 bullets, so we don't want to waste them. There is no control here. The button can't be clicked on. We did click on the button once, and then that exhausted it. We can look at the switchboard.
A system of fuses and cables. Nothing I could use.
Seems like there's a decent number of extra interactable objects that either are going to be puzzles or just are getting left on the cutting room floor. Although technically they are still in the game.
Nothing.
Alright, that didn't work. Just starting that one machine. But it did start this, so we can see what this does.
That isn't running full power. I must re-enable the steam flow somehow.
So
Steam is running out through one of the pipes. I should block that hole with something.
So this will be interesting if this kills me. Let's use...
Burn myself.
Yeah. That's what I thought. So the game is wasting our time. Again. Let's double click on this. They've put an extra scene in between this whole room, and there's already a couple extra scenes. So I have to turn it off.
The main printer is running.
And now the rag works in the pool. I've tried it multiple times and it hasn't worked. And now you can't do anything with the pool. There's just a lack of quality testing here. In a point-and-click adventure, you should be allowed to do some things, if not most things, before it's needed. Otherwise, you run into the exact scenario we're in, where I'm trying things, they're not working until I need to do those things, and then I try them again, and they do work. Where's my mouse? We're hearing audio.
The machine couldn't take a full power input, damn it. Maybe it's just a blown fuse.
So now we can mess with the fuse box.
One of the fuses has blown. One of the fuses has blown.
So I guess the idea should have been that we could have looked at it before and he should have said, everything's working fine right now. Yeah. I don't need to mess with it. But ideally you would have the fuse box not even be openable. And then when the fuse exploded, it just exploded the box open, which that would be unrealistic, but whatever.
I'll try using the fuse from this box in the lift room generator.
And so you just pull the fuse out of what I can only assume was a live circuit. And I guess he didn't kill himself, so we'll just ignore that. Just a lot of puzzling and playing. If this was within the first couple hours of gameplay, this would be fine, but we're 10 hours plus into this game.
This fuse.
And it's just very, very silly to have all the talking up front at the beginning of the game.
I should try to call the main lift. Maybe it will work, and I'll get out of here finally.
Finally is the right phrase. But I really don't want
The
this
lift is operational.
to take me into new areas. I want this to take us to where we need to be to wrap up the game. The secret citadel under Black Mirror Manor. That's where I want this to take me. I don't even want to have to walk. Now that the pre-rendered animation changed to the you press a different button, I guess, to open the lift, and then you get another pre-rendered animation. Kind of pointless and very jarring. That's something they would have seen in testing. It's like, why don't we just fully animate him getting into the ladder and the elevator and then leaving?
At last, this is the highest floor. I should be out of here with only a little effort now.
And the game is just gonna make it longer. Why not just have the elevator exit completely? This says ITG
Just
in danger.
a heap of damp earth, nothing more. It smells of metal rust.
There really is no work in this community because it seems like
It probably
ghosts.
used to hold dynamite. There are some leftover wicks. Nothing else except the old wicks.
And great.
The grate is closed with a padlock chain.
Well, you know what? Just shoot the padlock. Let's see, can we... I saw two things. Great. Firm padlock.
I need to aim better. That was not a good shot. The lock is still holding together firmly.
Well, it doesn't seem like there's... We got two shots just so we would use them both.
Perfect shot. The padlock is down.
And open the grate.
The way is free. I did it.
And the way he talks to himself just makes the writing even
This
worse.
isn't looking
A dark wolf. Shoot the dog. Can't. Seriously, game? That's what I thought was going to happen too. Is that we were going to start, I was going to die, and this is getting crazy. More and more opportunities to die when the first half of the game really had none. And this is not the kind of game you want something like that. Generally speaking, if you just think about games nowadays, even when you do die, you're just immediately respawned in the area. And that means I have to do all of this again. And
A revolver. I'll take it.
let's just try to get the mouse in the right place and then click on everything, and you can't do a single thing before you need to. Alright.
There were just two.
So, if you didn't think it was long and slow and annoying before, you're definitely going to think it is now, having to play the game twice. And there's no way a normal player isn't going to run into this issue at least once. If it had instead just auto-saved us and then auto-loaded us into the previous room, that would have been fine. Like, I wouldn't have found that. That would have just kind of been a funny reason to try again and have a bit of a challenge and a puzzle in the form of an action sequence. By the way, you can't dampen this rag until you see the steam. Until he says I must.
Steam is running up.
And we'll just make sure we try everything. And then back this way. And back this way. And I don't really feel like that it is a case of you were supposed to use the gun on the wolf and some other way to open the padlock. That would be a very bad way to make a point-and-click adventure. To have something work and not be the item you actually needed to use. It'd be okay if you made a point-and-click adventure and there were multiple solutions to a puzzle, but there shouldn't be any wrong solutions that feel like right solutions. And everything has to be in order, so they've specifically put a minimum number of scenes you have to transition through. Let's double click this and see if we can skip it. No, I don't even think you can skip this section. What's the point of having a 15-hour game when at least 3 hours of it is pointless? And in some cases, direct repetitions of what you just did. I wonder if there really are any other games that would heavily benefit from being remade just because of the name being associated with something else. Oh man, I have to go look at the switchboard, the fuse box first. If anything, I imagine what the video game industry should do is try to make movies or other media based on the same name as old games and then reboot the game series based on that. We've seen something like that, like Silent Hill as a TV series, and no, Silent Hill as a movie series gets more people interested in the game, sort of. Resident Evil in a similar way as a movie series. Both of those movie series are not particularly good, but they cross-promote each other. Even recently there was an Assassin's Creed movie that really had nothing to do with the game from what I can tell, and it still probably helped cross-promote a little bit. But it would have to be a really, really old thing. Something like E.T. And that wouldn't happen. Star Wars is probably a good thing. You could reboot several of the old Star Wars games that they've tried to make. Like, that might be a way to do things, but I don't know if Disney's really going to allow the market to be flooded with Star Wars games. There's already a lot of them. We'll just double click and skip, and then we'll click this, and and click on the main lift and double click and skip.
At last, this is the highest.
I
should be out of.
That was a lot of things.
You probably used nothing.
And so just a bunch of wicks, and you can't even do anything with the wicks.
The grate is closed. I can't get rid of it with my bare hands.
So unless I was supposed to use the sacred key on the firm padlock, or the knife on the firm padlock, there's really no solution. Otherwise, that even makes sense. And then you're gonna miss every time,
I need to aim better.
and then you're going to succeed.
Perfect shot. The padlock is down.
Alright, and before we go anywhere, we've got to save to save slot 18, which tells me that there's been at least 10 hours in gameplay, because the first hour I didn't save at all, and every 30 minutes after that I saved.
The way is free. I did it.
I
This isn't looking good.
think what we're supposed to do is go back in. Apparently not. So leaving doesn't work. And any of the poor players that didn't save at this point. Let's see. Can we use the lift?
I'm glad to be up here. No one is making me go back.
Heap of dirt.
Just a big heap of damp earth. Nothing more. It smells of metal rust.
And so, like, you could still beat a dog off with a pistol. A wolf, too. It ain't gonna be a great fight, but
The way is free. I did it.
maybe I'm not supposed to use an item. Maybe I'm supposed to run. Run. Nope. And at this rate, I'm gonna just get thrown back to a walkthrough. Like, it's very possible we're gonna spend 5 minutes trying to figure out a solution. Can't use the knife. Can't use this. Maybe the black sphere? That would be the creepiest solution.
The way is free. I did it. This isn't looking good.
And you can't talk to the dog. And you can't interact with the dog. Wouldn't it be crazy if you just needed the fast travel?
With hope, there's another exit somewhere.
Yeah, that would be pretty funny if the fast travel worked.
The way is free. I did it. This isn't looking good.
Music box? Do I still have the music box? It's literally no good way to end the game. if the death was impactful, if there was a reason for it, if it even felt more sensical, I might be willing to play along and say, okay, that'll be the death, and that'd be the end of the game. But like, no. Can we put a coin in here? And what's this old book? Oh, he's supposed to perhaps beat the dog to submission with the old book. There's nothing here.
Just a big heap of damp earth, nothing more. It
Smells of metal. Just pixel hunt to make sure.
The way is free.
I would have liked to have been out of this area at least 15 minutes ago.
This isn't looking.
Let's see, what is there anything anywhere? The moon. So unless there is something incredibly insane, like use the black orb on the moon, which I don't know how any player would really figure that out. We've entered the territory of the game being cruel in its difficulty. The moon. Nope. And coin. Here, I'll bribe you. Key with the moon. Key with the dark wolf. So we've got the moon, and we've got all of our inventory, and I don't think there's anything else that lines up. Where did the music box go is a good question to ask. You open this, and then this.
I'm glad to be up. No one is.
And so unless there was something I was supposed to do with the lift, which it kind of feels like there is. Yeah, my default inclination is that I should just run out of this area and back into the lift. But like, unless I just took too long. Nope. So I'm back to the walkthrough. I'm just gonna have to be like, I have no freaking clue. This is incredibly unforgiving, and it's even worse for people that didn't save. That's it for this recording. As always, I ask you to like, share, subscribe, comment, and watch every second of my videos. If you want to friend or follow me on basically any social media sites, there's a whole bunch of links down below. Thank you for watching. Have a good evening.